Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Railroads Online. Now, most of you are probably more enamored with the latest and greatest called Railroader. So this update may or may not have slipped past your scopes. Unfortunately, I was not able to get a video done on this yesterday. I was extraordinarily busy, but they just pushed out a major update for Railroads Online. So we're gonna take a look at it. Fair warning: if anything locks out or crashes, you'll probably see it. I don't know what to do about it. They did put out an update this morning for this major update, which allows users to revert to previous updates because so many people were having issues with the game not loading or crashing or whatever. So I haven't had that issue yet, but I also have not gone through everything that has been added, and I also have not fiddled around and operated or anything like that. Matter of fact, I haven't touched Railroads Online since I did the last update video. I just haven't had the desire. But anywho, we're going to be taking a look at the latest major update. So this update has added a little bit more content as far as rolling stock goes, Locomotive, as you can very clearly see, as well as new industries. That's kind of the big one on this update, is industries, which we will go over in a second. I'll probably have to place them down to actually see them. I will not be demonstrating them in this video just because I do not have a map set up with these new industries. So, but I will place them down. We'll take a look at them, go over what all can be done. So, yeah. So, we're just going to go down the list of the update notes like we do in all the other videos. So, right off the bat, the game was upgraded to run on Unreal Engine 5.3. Does that make a huge difference? I don't know. Me, personally, I don't see a huge difference. I've seen a lot of people complaining about, how the game looks all cartoonish and whatnot. Me, personally, I see quite literally no difference at all between this and the last time I played. So, maybe it's hocus pocus. I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't appear to be something that has affected me. But let's see what else. So we added a water well, which was it's part of the industry grouping that got added. So the water well is used to transport water from the well to the wheat farm and the cattle farm. Please note that the water from the water well is a new freight type. So the water from the water well cannot be used in the locomotives. It is coded as a freight object, so it will not work in the locomotives, and vice versa. The water from the water towers will not work as freight. And then they added a cattle farm, which will take grain and water and straw to produce cows. Added a meat packing plant, where you'll bring coal and cattle to produce meat product, which then can be sold to the freight depot. Added the new industries to new Lake Valley maps. If playing on an already built map, you will have to place the new industries. Added ferries and cliff house locomotive, which we see here, a 242 tank type. Built by Baldwin Locomotive Works in 1887. Has 4,300 pounds of tractive effort with a top speed of 30 mile an hour. That's pretty cool. Just as a side note, I really I'm probably going to be the really oddball out amidst all of the railroader talk right now. I know everybody's infatuated with the railroader, but I love this locomotive. I tried to build a HON3 model of this for giggles and squiggles, which proved to be well beyond my desirable capabilities. But yeah, I love this little locomotive. I love the wheel arrangement. 242s it's such an odd wheel arrangement in the U.S. and it's one that really gets overlooked. But yeah, just one of those weird little side spiels. But it's a really neat locomotive, which we'll go over all the fun bells and whistles with it in a minute. But added water tank car built by the Central Pacific Railroad in 1875. Holds 12 water from the water well. Has 9 color options. Warning note. The warning I gave earlier. Water cars do not fill with water towers. Water for tenders is a fuel type. Water from water well is a cargo type. Added a ventilated box car built by the Virginia and Truckee in 1881. Holds 36 meat and has 6 colors. Added Oahu Sugar Company water tank car built by Oahu Sugar Company in 1920. 7 colors. And then added 2 new paints to the Class 48. Added 1 new paint to the Ruby Basin. Added 1 new paint to the Cookie 260. The Coal. So the Coal variant got a new paint scheme. Changed the stock car to now hold cattle. Still holds tools though. Added new props. Updated speeds. Class 70 now goes 23 miles per hour. Both cooks go 25 mile an hour. Updated reverser. So there's something wonky. Added a cutoff simulation. So at 100% reverser, you are compromising max speed for max tractive effort. The closer to center you get with the reverser, the faster you will go. However, when going at max speed, when the reverser towards the center, you will compromise tractive effort. And then a nice long list of bug fixes. I'm not going to go over all of them. A lot, truth be told, that most of you probably don't care about, so we won't bother. Quality of life improvements. Reduce player character size. There's something. That's something that's needed to come around for a long time. But they didn't change the point of view. Not the way it needed to be. So they reduced the character size so that the character itself doesn't like clip through the cab roofs and whatnot. It actually is a more realistic size, but they didn't really update the view. Increase player character running speed, and crouch is not as low as before. The new crouch lowers the character enough that it is possible to see out the front of the windows. So you have to crouch to be at normal sitting. Yeah. This view looks fine. I don't know why this is one of those things that I will say I like in just about every other game. You can actually stare out the cab in first person without having to crouch. But yeah, so crouching, you can see out. As you can see, doesn't make much of a difference if you can't stay crouched. So let's see. Adjusted the firebox hitboxes. Fixed collision with wood trestle bridge. Added a new third-person driving UI. Oh, here's something that got a lot of entertainment. Cranes and cow ramp now load 3 freight with each loading cycle. This is applied to all industries to help speed up loading process. Added a gameplay setting for water and coal consumption. So, and that's it. So the new driving setup. Let's look at that real quick. So there's a lot of things I don't like with this Truth be told, I would have rather have just stuck with the original because so this was added. It's got a yellow outline box, which is noticeable and takes up a good quarter of your screen over here. It shows you sand, water, and coal and or wood levels, which are nice, but they're huge. And air and pressure. Air pressure. I'm assuming they mean boiler pressure. So your boiler pressure, your air pressure, bell, sander, cylinder cocks, and boiler temperature, maybe? I had water temperature? Sure. And fire temperature. Bell on the new locomotive. Yeah, I actually like the bell. It's a pretty decent sounding bell. Compressor. Maybe the bell will stop swinging eventually. New whistle, not bad. Brakes, reverse. Oh, new chuff sounds. Which ain't half bad. So new chuff sounds, not half bad. Locomotive seems to run pretty nice, looks pretty good. Excuse the mess going on over here. So not bad. As far as things you get to fiddle with, you get the door hatch. I don't know why they called it that. It's window. Sander, whistle, typical things you can play with. Window doesn't have a roof hatch. Headlights still all burning. So that's cool. So let's go into our facilities here and look at the new freight cars. That one. So here's the new water tank car. Looks like a little plantation. It looks like a glorified flat car with a barrel on it, if I'm perfectly honest. Which, it's not saying that it's wrong per se. Matter of fact, it's not wildly unheard of for little plantation, island, narrow gauge railroads and such, but it still runs into the same issue that all of this other plantation stuff has, which is it doesn't really fit. I mean, it looks cool. Like, the model looks pretty decent. I mean, there's nothing wild going on with it. It just doesn't serve a huge purpose when there's bigger, better options for not much more money. Let's see. So here's the new water car. This one's 900. The small one Oh, it's actually cheaper this time. It was $280. So I guess there's your incentive to use the small ones, but it's just not huge reason. But yeah, the full-size water tank, pretty cool. Doesn't look half bad overall. Almost looks like a glorified gondola with a roof built across the top of it. Boy, that brake is some low res. Color schemes. All the typical freight colors. So there's the water car, the new ventilated box car, which is it's a box car with ventilation. What more you want me to say? Not a whole lot to throw out there, but it looks pretty good. It doesn't look half bad. Well, you get 6 schemes with this one. So there's that. Camel car we looked at. I think we looked at this before. Hasn't changed. It just gets a new freight. And then the 242, all the specifications for it. It is a coal burner, so this is not one that you'll be jumping into right off the bat. It's a nice myriad of smokestacks. And then your headlight options. And your paint schemes. Oh, that's kind of cool. Kind of a worn, rusty look. So, there's that. And then we'll go to the other locomotives that got new paints. Let me pull that back up. Added locomotives. So 2 new paints to the Class 48, which we are on right now. Which I'm going to assume is going to be... oh, both of these. Okay, so from the factory paint job, kind of a in-service look. And then this is kind of colorful-ish, worn look. I don't hate it. Doesn't look bad. So two new paints for that. Ruby Basin. You gotta go into Climax, Heisley, Ruby Basin. So it gets the same kind of worn, weathered looks. Which should be the only one for that, it is. And then the Coal Burning Cookie. Coal Burning Cookie got 1 new paint job, which is that. So it got a worn, weathered look as well. So that's all the new stock. Let's see what new props we got. So new props can be found under decorations, under SM, so a digging shovel. Okay. A fork hoe. Oh, they changed up the menu too. Should show that off as far as graphics and such go, they changed some stuff around, which, nah, I don't like blur. Let's turn the blur off. And then gameplay, weather events. I don't see a way to turn off the time of day changing, so we are stuck with time of day changing. But as you can see, some stuff changed up here a little bit. Yay, hey, hooray for some, I guess. Let's see, what other decorations we get? Really a long list. Headpan, iron shovel, mailbox, melotus, metal buckets, metal cans, spade forks, watering cans, wooden barrels, carts, fence, gate, ladder, push cart, and wooden wheels. So a fair number of props for people to fiddle around with. And then, of course, our new industries. Old industries. Water well. Oh, balls. I forget. I don't need to use right click. So, industries. Water well, which is a glorified water tower, really. Nothing fancy here. Go ahead and place it. We'll run over, see what all it entails. Get a spigot, kind of like the oil fields have. I'll use that to load it. Yep. We run up the ladder at Mock Jesus. Yeah, that's about it. Very low res lettering. Wow, it's kind of sad. For a first-person game like this, I should be able to read that pretty well, but it is extraordinarily blurry. Looks pretty much like telegraph office building, so nothing really wild there. And then an overly large watering tower, which, I mean, that's pretty much all this needs to be. Nothing fancy. So there's that. Let's go to that. Next industry, the wheat farm. It's a pretty hefty, large industry that I can't rotate. Oh well. So here's a little shed. Don't know what purpose it serves, but it's there. I imagine you gotta pull over to here to hook up to the water thing to dump water into. And then here is where you'll dump off your seed pallets. Seed pallets you can pick up from the freight depot, I believe, if I remember correctly. And then of course you drop off straw bales over here. Or actually you load them. And I don't know that anything gets loaded here. It's just kind of there. And you shoot for grain. So that's pretty neat, pretty different. Doesn't look that bad. Let's get rid of it. What else we got? Wheat farm, cattle ranch. I got way too many trees in the way. It's kind of hard to see anything. Oh well. So I got a cattle ranch here. It's got kind of a little ranch house. Of course, our unloading for grain, water, and straw bales. Of course, you gotta feed the cattle somehow. Inside the barn, it's kind of cool. It lets you in the barn. It's got some little extras inside the barn. And animated cows. Not bad. I don't hate it. And the loading ramps for loading up your cattle cars. I imagine these pins will fill up with cow models as it starts to produce cattle. So there's the cow industry. It's kind of cool. And last but not least, the meat packing plant. Oh goody, it's loud. The meat packing plant. Of course, over here, we're unloading coal. Another one of those where I don't quite understand how you unload it. But okay, whatever. I would assume you pull through, considering this is where you unload your cattle, but I don't quite see where the coal would go outside of you shoveling it out of the gondola and into the bins, but whatever. And then of course our loading for meat, because it is a meat packing plant. And the sun's going down. I thought I changed that so that the time was longer. I did. I'm dumb. I changed it so the time was shorter. There we go. So yeah, there's the new industries. Don't need those anymore. And I do believe that is it as far as new content goes. The freight house was also updated to be able to load those seed pallets, as you can see here. I believe they just randomly generate. They don't you don't have to do anything to get them. And that's it. That's all that's new. That's all that's wild with Railroads Online. Now, as I said, a lot of people seem to have a lot of problems with this update. So you may or may not be able to play it. I don't know. As you can clearly see, I don't seem to be having any wild issues yet. I haven't tried to service an industry or anything. Like I said earlier, this is the first time I have been in Railroads Online since my last update video. So yeah, it's a neat update. I do and don't see the point to it. Like, cool, we get new industries, but the maps honestly kind of feel a little bit small considering the amount of industries. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I need to start stacking industries on top of each other. But, yeah, there it is, guys. The latest and greatest for Railroads Online. Pretty neat update. I know I saw a lot of people complaining about how it looks now. Like I said, I don't see a huge difference. Now, I'm not one of those that's going to sit here and look at it with a magnifying glass and go, oh my gosh, the pixels are different. Rah. I don't care. I still think it looks pretty good. As you guys saw earlier, whoops. I mean, I got my graphics settings pretty well maxed out, and I don't seem to be having any issues. So yeah, don't know what to tell you. But that is all for today, guys. I don't think there's anything left for me to go over, so I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, Railroads Online available on the Steam store. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.